Hello and welcome back to episode 6 of my Beginner's Guide to Florida. This is part 2 of my Universal Resorts Guide. So today let's talk about Islands of Adventure. Okay, so Islands of Adventure, it's the same sort of layout as Universal Studios in terms of it surrounds a lagoon, which looks quite good with some pictures that you can take around the park. It is made up of 7 worlds. You've got Marvel Superhero Island, Tuna Goon, Skull Island, Jurassic Park, the Harry Potter Hogsmeade, or the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, the Lost Continent and Seuss Landing. So those are the 7 areas we have. So as you walk into the park, which is called Port of Entry, you've got shops to the left and the right, and you've got a Starbucks on the corner as you walk in, and there's a Christmas shop there as well. I think there's a Cinnabon off the top of my head, I'm not 100% sure, but there's definitely a Starbucks if you're looking for breakfast in the morning. Walk straight forward, you get a good view of the lagoon, and you've normally got a couple of stalls there and a information board which gives you all your ride times. So let's start with the first area. We'll start with Marvel Superhero Island. This is my favourite area of the park, mainly obviously because of the Marvel stuff. You've got my favourite roller coaster there, which is the Hulk coaster, which is on one of those, it's a launch coaster which shoots you out of a cannon, straight up to upside down through some loops and stuff. Excellent ride. It's also been refurbished, so it's not as bumpy as it used to be, which is all good. In the same area as the Hulk, or you have to put stuff in the locker as well if you're going on the Hulk. You get them for, I think it's about half an hour. So do check, because if you come back and you're over half an hour, you're going to have to pay for the locker. But right next there is, I think it's called Storm Force Acceleration. It's like a teacups ride, and that's just to the back of where the Hulk is. And next door to the Hulk, you've got a diner, which is now changed from quick service to full service diner, and you now meet the characters in there as well, which are all Marvel's characters. So the street itself is all lined with lots of merchandise stores, t-shirts, collectibles, etc. Next to the diner there's an arcade, and down an alleyway you've got Doctor Doom's Fearfall, which is a terror drop coaster ride. And next door to that then you've got Spider-Man in the corner, which is more shops that surround it, again all collectibles and t-shirts. And there's a ladies shop that's just opened there which sells women's Marvel stuff, which is pretty cool. And that goes all the way around with some more theming and shops. And there's a Spider-Man character meet there as well, which is like a photo op, and it's got like a green screen behind it, so it's good for the kids. And then that leads on then into Tuna Goon. So Tuna Goon, another one of my favourite areas. It's obviously filmed with cartoons. It's mainly Popeye and Rockin' Bullwinkle. I can't think of the other characters there at the moment, but it's like different photo opportunities you can have as you walk around. As you come into it, there's a diner straight there, and then on the right hand side there's a store which sells all kinds of stuff in there, and straight ahead you've got the Rapids ride, which is Popeye and Bluto, and it's called the Bill Drop Barges, and you get absolutely soaked on there. This is they're all water rides in this section, and both of them you will get absolutely soaked. So you cross a bridge, but you've also got Ripsaw Falls, which is based on Dudley Do Rights. Again, it's a log flume type ride, and you get absolutely drenched on that as well. And the end drop is really fun. It's not just a straight drop; it's like a bumpy ride, which is really good. That then falls through to, it's not really an area, it's Jurassic Park part of that, which follows into which is another water ride, really well themed. and that's just your straightforward drop down and again, and you don't get soaked as the other two water rides, but you do get wet on there as well. So if you're going to do the water rides, I'd do them all in one hit, and then you can dry off throughout the park. You do have a other ride in the Jurassic Park area, which is called, I think it's called the Pterodon Flyers. There are weight limits on that because it is a kids ride, but it goes through the trees. And then you've got a restaurant and like an activity centre for the kids, based on the Jurassic Park stuff. Before Jurassic Park actually, it's Kong Skull Island. It's really well themed, but it is just that one ride there, there's nothing else there. And that's like a 3D type of ride, but you're on a truck. It's really well themed, and it's quite short, but it's based on the film, the latest movie that's come out. So it's worth looking at that as well before you go, if you're interested in that. You don't need to watch the movie, but you know more what's going on if you do. But that's a good ride there, and obviously that then, as I say, flows into Jurassic Park. And then through Jurassic Park, you come out the Jurassic Park gate into the wonderful wizarding world of Harry Potter, into the land of Hogsmeade. So you can see through the trees as you've got the Hogwarts Castle right there, which has the Forbidden Journey ride, and they've got a locker system, so you have to put the stuff in a locker. My only tip would be is plan your time for this, because even though there are enough lockers, it gets very congested, and you can sometimes spend more time putting stuff in a locker and trying to get it back out than you do actually going on the ride. So if you've got a big party, it might be worth leaving your bags with those people if there's people that are non-riders, rather than putting them in the locker. Next to that, you've got the Hippogriff ride. Again, it's a small ride for the kids. You can go on it, there's no weight restrictions for that. It's just a little mini roller coaster opposite the castle. And then that then leads into Hogsmeade itself, which is really well themed street from the movie, with lots of shops and restaurants and stuff. It's the Three Broomsticks in that area, the restaurant there. We've never eaten there because we've had mixed reviews of what it's like, but it is quite expensive for what you get. Probably will eat there one day, but every time we go there, we've already eaten beforehand, so we might plan to do that on our next visit. Sadly, it used to have the Dueling Dragons there, but that's now gone, and that is now being replaced with a Harry Potter roller coaster, which is now being built and may be ready in 2019. There's no set date for that yet. And then right at the end, as you come out of Hogsmeade, you've got a photo op with the train. It's not the train that takes you from the two parks, it's just a photo op of a replica of the train there. And just rewinding a little bit back, the area, as you come out of the gates, you've got then the entrance to the train to take you to the park. It is worth doing it both sides because the movie on the train is different both ways, so it is worth doing. So then from the entrance to the Hogwarts Express that takes you over to the Islands of Adventure, you've got the Lost Continent. That is a small area. There's only one ride there now. It's called Poseidon's Adventure, which is like a walk-through type of ride with like a 3D sort of effects. I've only done it once and I can't really remember what it is. Obviously didn't do much for us because we've only been on once in the years that we've been there. There is a fun thing that is there now. In the middle there's a fountain, and sometimes it's interactive as it talks to you, insults you as you walk past and stuff, and then spits water at you and things. It is quite fun watching the kids play around with that. And then on the other side you've got Mythos, which is a restaurant, and it has won awards for being one of the best restaurants in a theme park. We've got friends who have been there and said it is very good, but again we've never been to that restaurant, but we have heard good things about it. So that's that for that area, which then leads you into our final area, which is the kids part, which is Seuss Landing. For Seuss Landing, so it's the kids area. Quite a few rides in there for the kids to go on. There's the Cat in the Hat ride, which is like a car ride that goes through different sceneries from the books. You've got a ride called One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. It's like a carousel sort of thing, well, like a spinny thing, which the cars go up and down, the fishes, as you say, go up and down, but you get wet on it as well, as I found out when I went on it with Elliot, and I got soaked, as there's water sprayers on the edge that get you. There's a Seuss carousel as well, just like a normal carousel but with the Seuss characters there. And then there's a High in the Sky trolley, which is like a little car that goes around the area of the Seuss Park, the Seuss area, which is pretty good. You can do some character meets there with the Grinch, Thing 1 and 2, and I think some of the you can do some character meets there as well, obviously Cat in the Hat, the Grinch, Thing 1 and Thing 2. I think there's some Who characters as well that wander around that you can have photos with as well. There is a Christmas shop there and sweet shops, and you can buy candy floss, which is the biggest candy floss you'll ever encounter in your life. It's massive. And then that area brings you back out to the entrance of the park. And that's really it for Islands of Adventure. One thing you can do with both parks, you can, at the start of the area in City Walk, you can buy meal deals in some of the restaurants, so that is worth having a look at when you get there as well. They do range from about $30 to $60 depending on what restaurant you're going to go into as well, so do check that out before you go in. So that's it for Islands of Adventure. So I'm keeping these short so they're easier to watch. Next week will be part 3, and that'll be Volcano Bay, and then some hints and tips for the rest of the parks, including your fast passes and stuff. So do be checking next week, and if you'd like, comment below, subscribe, and we'll see you next week.